Hey guys, Suvi Bird here, wanting to talk a little bit today about gender and transsexuals and what's really going on our flat earth. And the reason I want to talk about this is because it really is a huge portion of the psyop and the manipulation that's going on in our society, and it's going on really worldwide. Hollywood pretty much permeates most cultures these days, so it's not just an American thing. Um, as a woman, I am saddened deeply by this topic. And as I've researched it over time, and if it's a newer topic to you, please go and do some research on YouTube about it, because there's a lot of people who are going to put forth some really strong evidence and great information about this, more than I'm going to right now. I'm just going to speak to it. So some of the things I've discovered in this topic is the ways in which women are asked to alter their appearance, and that this is how they sort of sneak in and pose as women. So as women, we're asked to wear a lot of makeup, right? Makeup's a really big thing. And a lot of girls say, oh, I really enjoy it. And I like, doing all this different stuff with makeup, and, that's fine. But, cosmetics and stuff, they claim it to be this ancient thing. Well, it's maybe an ancient transgender thing, but cosmetics started to be really pushed a lot more in the 1930s. And so there was a time where, women just didn't exactly have time to be making themselves up in these ways. It's more of a modern society kind of a thing. So makeup, shaving all your body hair off, which has a couple of different connotations, and bras, these are things that make it easier for them to pose as you. And I'm just going to speak to them because I feel like women, that we struggle to be authentic females in a world where there really aren't any female role models. They are all transgendered. Anyone in the spotlight as a woman is not a real woman. And I know that's a big statement, but I'll tell you, I have been investigating this for a while, and it is 100% true. There are no real women that are even allowed to be in these upper circles. If they are, they're probably an FTM and have been turned into a male, because you inject testosterone into your system and your female mind will disappear. So they're all men. And the real woman is here in the home, raising children, working, doing whatever she's doing, and she's not represented. You're not represented. And more than that, these gay men, which is who they are, like crueler people are going to call them sodomites, and maybe that's not so cruel, maybe that's just a fact. But these are the people who run Hollywood. And to take it a step further, they run your politics, and they run any sort of upper echelon stuff, including medical and science fields. These are transgendered people. These are gay men. And I could even take it a step further than that, but I'm not going to in this video, because I want to speak to the transgender stuff. And, they are getting regular people in the population to transgender themselves. And these, to me, are transgender victims. I'm not pointing the finger at Joe Schmo down the street who's decided he needs to be a woman. He, in my mind, is somewhat of a victim. There has been a lot of evidence that they are putting things in vaccinations. I think it's called the G factor, that are making children gay or transgender, more so than would happen or occur naturally in nature, which I believe the supposed natural occurrence of this is very, very small. And all of a sudden, everybody's gay and everybody's transgendered. Well, there's a reason for that. There's been a psyop going on for over 100 years now. In the last century, it has been really amped up, and, amped up through screens. And, I just want to ask my fellow women to look at what they're due on a day-to-day basis that alters their appearance. Like for me, I'm really looking at the bra thing, because, all women are wearing bras, and we wear bras for different reasons. Like, I have kind of big boobs, so I feel like I wear a bra for support. Otherwise, I don't feel like I would wear one. When I was a teenager, I never wore one. But after I had my child and so forth, I felt very compelled to wear bras. So this is not, I mean, I got one on now. This isn't how my boobs naturally sit on my body. And if I was not wearing a bra, you know, you would see my nipples and you would see the way that my breasts sit naturally on my body, which I'm cool with too. I think that it's sexy, but you know, I don't present myself that way because it's pretty frowned upon. I actually get a lot of shit from people for never wearing makeup. Or doing stuff with my hair. I don't do much with my hair. Maybe it looks like I do, but I really don't. I just kind of get up and brush it. Maybe I'll pull it away from my face a little bit. But, you know, in general, girls are doing pretty high maintenance stuff. They're shaving all the hair off their body. They're wearing contraptions. They're putting on tons of makeup. And this is actually helps transgenders hide within our community, because the more that we as natural women do things like that, it's the stuff that they're doing to try to look like you. So it helps them pose as real women. And you know, they're not. They're men. They are men posing as women. And I honestly think that this is really screwing up the way that women view themselves and the way that they feel about themselves. And you're supposed to like it. You know, you're supposed to support it. I know all these women because I live in a very liberal area. Okay, everyone around me is a fucking liberal. And I'm not political at all. I'm not in either camp, but I don't like a lot of things about either one. But around here, there's a lot of drag shows, gay bars with drag shows. And a lot of chicks I know go to these shows. Like, oh, we're going to go down to the drag show and da-da-da. Well, you know, I started really looking at that. And you know what they're doing is they're mocking you. These men are mocking women, and we're all supposed to cheer and clap for it and be into it and think of it as some form of entertainment. Well, I am not entertained by men mocking women. Gay men, specifically, mocking women. And gay men think it's okay to mock women. I had a friend I'm no longer friends with who dressed up like women all the time, and he would just, you know, be really affected and change his voice and put on all the makeup and wigs and you know, he thinks it's entertainment. He thinks it's in support of women. It's very backwards. It's very backwards thinking. And it's hard to talk about. It's hard to speak to people about because it's not okay. It's not okay for a woman to stand up and be like, yeah, I don't really want to be mocked. And I don't really want to feel like I have to do all of this stuff to present beauty to the world. You know, you sisters are born the way that you are, and you're beautiful, and your bodies are beautiful, and you do not have to have a six-pack stomach. No woman does. You know, flat abs is a male feature. You know, having no hips is a male feature. You know, and there's been so much media with transgender bodies that we actually think that we don't look good the way that we are, with curves and hips, and you know, they'll put fake boobs on them. So boobs are all great. Everyone's into boobs, but the rest of your body feels like it's not right all the time. I mean, the crazy dieting and the exercising and the stuff is all to look like these transgenders. They're trannies. They're not real women. So I just want to speak to it. Like, I'm not into being mocked as a woman, and I'm not into constantly trying to make myself up so that someone else can pose as me. And, you know, this is a sad state of the world. You know, there are no real feminine people being presented to young people. There are no real women. There's no real women in magazines or politics or any of those things that we view as humans looking outward from where we are. All the richest women in the world and all these fashion icons and stuff, they're men. Sorry. Those are men. Those are men dressed up as women. Those are trannies. And it's huge. The deception is huge. And that's why I think a lot of people can't believe it, because it's so big, because it permeates so much. It's just overwhelming. It's like, no, that can't be going on. That's just too huge. No, it's real. It's really happening, and it's why you really feel that way. And yes, they do want men to be gay. They want men to be attracted to other men. And this is how they are doing it. And there are men out there who want their woman to be extremely thin, to wear a lot of makeup, to shave off all her hair, shave off all her pubic hair, which also denotes a little bit of pedophilia. And, you know, nobody wants to hear that. But, I mean, a shaved pubic area for, to some degree for cleanliness or something like, it's, you know, I'm not putting it across the board, but a woman constantly shaving her crotch bald, and I've been there, it's a bit of a psyop on our minds. You know, we're not allowed to have hair. We're not allowed to have natural looking breasts. We're not, you know, because the trannies all have boob jobs. So if all the women weren't wearing bras and we actually showed up as we naturally are, they can't fake that. They can't fake your natural beauty. That's why they're asking you to put on this other form of beauty with the, you know, clown makeup and the clothes and the whole thing. And if you don't know what's happening, I just want to say this is happening. And if you don't like this, I mean, sorry, look into it more. This is a real thing. And, you know, true feminine power and wisdom is not being expressed in this world. And you can take it to the other side. I'm sure true masculinity is also not being represented in the world, because these are gay men who are running this. And nobody wants to think that, but it's true. The politics and stuff, those are transgendered gay men or FTMs and MTFs presenting themselves as politicians and stuff. Go look at their pictures. Go look at every first lady of the last century and tell me that's not a man, okay? And they're really good at it today. They can make these, you know, if you go look up real transgenders on YouTube and their real surgery stories and stuff like that, because real people don't hide it. You know, my partner works with a transgender MTF, and that person does not hide it. They're not being deceptive about it. They're looking at it as a form of identity because they've been raised in this soup. This has affected their personal lives. A lot of these people are victims. In fact, a lot of the transsexuals that may be in Hollywood and stuff may also be victims of mind control and slavery. You know, I'm not pointing my fingers around going, oh, all these fucking trannies everywhere, you know, this big deceptive thing and fuck them. I'm saying it's actually bigger than that. And a lot of these transgenders maybe had no choice. Transgendered from birth. Came out into an elite family and transgendered their whole lives. To me, that person is part of, you know, the psyop. You know, they're having it done to them as much as they're implementing this against you. So don't think I'm like putting everybody down in that way. I'm just saying that this is really happening. They really do have a gay transgender psyop going on our minds. And if it's okay to be gay and it's okay to pride and express all of this stuff, it should be okay for me as a heterosexual woman to express how I feel about all of this and say that, you know, I am a woman. I'm a woman and I look like this. And I'm going to express my wisdom in the world, and I'm not going to be scared to do it, and I'm not going to be silenced. And I would encourage any sister of mine to do and feel the same, and really think about how, you know, you're dressing and changing your body, and if that's part of their agenda of how they're wanting you to look so that they can get by better. You know, we as women we do have power, and we do have the ability to show up as ourselves. And I want to do that. I want to bring that to the table. I want to be raw and real. And I want to see real men showing up and their true, real masculinity and their presence and their support, because that's who they are. They are strong presence. They are a support person. They have their own beauty and their own wisdom that gets suppressed with all this transsexual stuff that's going on. And I'm not saying there's no room in society for people who are gay or want to be transgender, but this is huge. This is a huge psyop going on in your mind. These people have a magic wand and they're using it. So I should probably stop this video. I think my phone might be dying. But those are my thoughts on this, and I'd love to hear yours in the comments below, and much love.